You open your eyes in the morning. You reach for your phone, and within the first 5 minutes, you've already watched 3 clips yelling at you. Breaking. Green card owners in danger. Recent legislation will wreck your immigration standing. See this before it's too late. And just like that, before you've even poured your coffee, your pulse is racing, your palms are damp, and you're questioning whether you even have a tomorrow in this nation. I'm going to pause you right there. My name is Josh Martin, and welcome back to Future Bridge USA, the channel where we filter through the clutter, dodge the scare, tactics, and deliver you nothing but the facts. Today's video is intended for every single green card owner who has been tossing and turning because of what they're consuming on social media. If that's you, I need you to stick with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to reveal to you could seriously transform the way you view your circumstances. And more critically, it could restore to you your sense of calm. Here's what's going on right now. Every single day, a new clip appears, a new title emerges, a new urgent news notification informs you that everything is about to shift for immigrants in America. Some of these clips accumulate hundreds of thousands of views within hours. They're crafted to be sensational. They're crafted to make you tap, to make you spread, to make you feel like the ground is crumbling beneath you. And I recognize why green card owners are scared. I genuinely do. The political atmosphere surrounding immigration right now is fierce. There are executive directives being enacted. There are new ideas being presented in Congress, and yes, enforcement throughout the nation has increased quite dramatically. None of that is fabricated. None of that is something I'm going to brush aside. But here is the essential distinction between what you're watching on social media and what is truly occurring in real life right now as it relates specifically to you as a green card owner. Most of what you're watching is either a suggestion that was never approved, a bill that collapsed in committee the same week it was proposed, an executive directive that's been halted by the courts, or a media story that's been exaggerated beyond belief to attract clicks. And the people producing those clips, many of them are not immigration lawyers. Many of them are not even slightly qualified to explain what the law states. They're pursuing engagement. They're pursuing followers, and regrettably, they're achieving it at the expense of your mental wellness and your feeling of stability. So today, I want to try something different. I want to guide you through exactly how immigration law truly operates, what safeguards you truly possess as a green card owner, and how to distinguish the difference between something that's significant and something that isn't. By the conclusion of this video, my objective is straightforward. I want you to feel educated, strengthened, and relaxed. Let's dive in. Part 1. Grasping how immigration law truly evolves and why it's not as easy as a headline. One of the greatest misunderstandings that fuels all of this alarm is the notion that immigration law can shift overnight. That one evening you fall asleep with full rights as a green card owner, and by the time you arise, everything is altered. That is not how the United States lawmaking procedure functions, not even remotely. For a new immigration law to officially go into effect in this nation, it has to move through a very particular, very intentional, and often very lengthy process. First, a bill has to be drafted and officially submitted in either the House of Representatives or the Senate. That submission is where you get your initial headline. Senator proposes bill that would revoke green cards from immigrants accused of offenses. Sounds frightening, right? But here's what the headline doesn't reveal to you. The fact that a bill has been submitted means virtually nothing at this phase. The United States Congress submits thousands of bills every single term, and the vast majority of them never progress anywhere. After a bill is submitted, it gets assigned to a committee. That committee has to discuss it, modify it, and decide on whether it even merits a full chamber vote. Most bills never advance past committee. They just remain there. They gather dust. They expire silently, and nobody produces a video about that aspect. But let's imagine the bill does advance out of committee. It then has to proceed to a full vote in the House of Representatives. If it clears the House, it moves to the Senate, where the whole process basically repeats once more. Committee examination, discussion, modifications, and a chamber vote. Both the House edition and the Senate edition of the bill have to be merged into one cohesive piece of legislation. And then ultimately, that merged bill arrives at the president's desk to be enacted into law. That complete journey from submission to presidential signature regularly requires months. Often it requires years. Sometimes, for truly divisive legislation, it requires decades. And in many instances, most instances actually, the bill never turns into law at all. Let me provide you a specific illustration so you can observe exactly how this unfolds in the actual world. Think about birthright citizenship. This has been one of the most discussed immigration subjects over the past couple of years. There have been suggestions, executive directives, court battles, headlines upon headlines upon headlines. And yet, as of right now, birthright citizenship, the doctrine that anyone born on American territory is an American citizen, remains the rule of the land. It has not shifted. Despite years of political commotion, despite executive measures, despite the alarm that was stirred up, the law has not shifted because the courts have intervened repeatedly to delay or halt those modifications. Now let's narrow it closer to home for green card owners specifically. A few months ago, you may have noticed an eruption of clips about a suggested bill that would permit the government to cancel a green card from someone who had been simply accused of a crime. Not convicted, not determined guilty in a court of law, just charged. The clips were everywhere. Green card owners, take notice. You could forfeit everything over an allegation. Alarm spread. Here's what truly occurred. A senator submitted that bill. That's it. It was submitted, and then it went completely nowhere. It didn't clear committee. It didn't receive a chamber vote. It didn't clear the House or the Senate. It is not law. It never came near to becoming law. But the clips that cautioned you about it, those are still floating around. People are still distributing them. And new watchers are still viewing them and believing this occurred when it absolutely did not. This is the cycle you need to identify. Submission of a bill equals headlines, alarm, and trending clips. The bill quietly fading somewhere in the legislative journey equals nothing. The algorithm promotes the panic. It never promotes the clarification. Part 2. Executive directives. Impactful, but not everlasting. Now, I want to be balanced here because there is one pathway through which immigration policy can shift more rapidly than the full legislative journey. Executive directives. The President of the United States has the power to release executive directives, which are fundamentally instructions that guide federal agencies on how to apply or understand existing laws. In the realm of immigration, executive directives can have tangible and swift consequences. They can influence which groups are targeted for enforcement, what standards immigration agents apply when making determinations, how specific visa types are handled, and more. And yes, over the past several years, under administrations of both parties, we have observed executive directives that affected immigrants, including green card owners. So, this is not insignificant. I want to be transparent about that. But here's what's equally crucial to comprehend. Executive directives are not lasting alterations to immigration law. They are not equivalent to legislation approved by Congress. And traditionally, the more expansive and forceful an executive directive is, especially when it impacts large numbers of individuals, the more probable it is to be contested in federal court. We've watched this unfold time and time again. An executive directive gets enacted. Civil rights organizations and immigration support groups immediately head to court. A federal judge releases a temporary blocking order preventing the policy while the legal dispute continues, and the executive directive never completely goes into effect, or it gets considerably reduced before it does. This is not a partisan statement. It occurred under Democratic administrations. It occurred under Republican administrations. The courts are a restraint on executive authority, and they apply that restraint consistently when it involves immigration. So when you watch a clip telling you that a new executive directive is going to eliminate your rights as a green card owner, take a moment. Ask yourself, has this been put into action yet? Is it being disputed in court? What are actual immigration lawyers saying about it? Often the response is that the policy is caught up in legal proceedings, that application is uneven, or that the real-world effect on legally present green card owners is far more narrow than the headline implies. Part 3. Your rights as a green card owner. These are genuine and they are robust. Let's discuss something that almost never appears in those trending panic clips. Your actual rights as a green card owner, because here's the reality, those rights are substantial. They've been developed and strengthened over decades of immigration law, constitutional law, and court precedent. They don't vanish because of a single bill submission or a social media post. First and most significantly, you cannot be removed without due process. This is a constitutional safeguard. It is not something that can be eliminated by executive directive or even by a basic piece of legislation. If the government wants to deport a green card owner from the United States, they have to proceed through the immigration court system. That means you have the right to stand before an immigration judge. You have the right to submit evidence on your behalf. You have the right to dispute the government's case against you. You have the right to appeal a ruling that goes against you. This procedure is not fast. It is not straightforward, and it absolutely cannot be sidestepped by an immigration agent at the airport or on the street simply deciding they want to confiscate your green card away from you. That leads me to a vitally important point that I want you to internalize and share with every green card owner you know. If you are ever in a position where an immigration agent is urging you to sign papers to hand over your green card or to willingly consent to deportation, do not sign anything. Do not consent to anything without consulting with an immigration lawyer first. Your green card cannot be seized from you unless you sign it away or unless an immigration judge mandates its cancellation after a formal hearing. Those are the guidelines. An agent at a checkpoint, a border officer at the airport, a federal agent appearing at your door. None of them have the independent power to remove you of your green card on the spot. Now, does this mean you should be reckless? Absolutely not. There are things that can jeopardize your green card standing, and I want to be straightforward with you about those as well. Prolonged absences from the United States, particularly departing the country for more than 6 months and certainly for more than a year, can trigger questions about whether you have given up your permanent residence. Criminal judgments, particularly for certain types of offenses, can produce serious immigration repercussions, and there are other particular situations that a certified immigration lawyer can guide you through, but the key phrase there is can produce repercussions. Not will inevitably lead to forfeiting your green card instantly with no notification and no remedy. The law still demands procedure. The law still demands hearings. The law still demands a judge. Part 4: How to properly assess immigration news moving forward. I want to offer you a useful structure, something you can apply every single time you encounter one of those frightening clips or disturbing titles. A straightforward set of inquiries that will assist you rapidly distinguish the authentic worries from the fabricated hysteria. Inquiry 1: Is this a suggestion or a law? If someone is covering a bill that was submitted or a concept that a lawmaker raised in a speech, that is not law. That is a suggestion. Suggestions collapse all the time. Until something clears both chambers of Congress and is enacted by the president, it is not law and it does not impact you. Inquiry 2: If it is a law or an executive directive, has it been enacted yet? Even when something does turn into law or policy, execution requires time. Departments need to draft regulations, direction needs to be provided, and very often lawsuits postpone execution for months or even years. Inquiry 3: Is it being disputed in court? As I noted previously, significant immigration measures are consistently disputed in federal court, and courts regularly grant injunctions that block those measures from being applied while the dispute continues. Verify whether a legal dispute has been submitted. Often you'll discover that the measure you're anxious about is presently suspended. Inquiry 4: Who is covering this, and are they competent? Is the individual producing this clip an immigration lawyer? Do they have knowledge in this particular domain of law, or are they a media personality pursuing trending moments? This counts tremendously. Immigration law is unbelievably intricate, and subtlety is everything. A sincere non-specialist can trigger just as much hysteria as someone operating in bad faith. Inquiry 5: What are genuine immigration lawyers reporting when there is an authentic development that green card owners need to be aware of? Certified immigration lawyers will be discussing it. If you can't locate credible lawyers commenting on the particular worry, that itself is an indicator that it may not be as critical as it's being portrayed to be. Part 5: What you should really be concentrating on. Rather than investing your energy on alarm, here's where your energy is truly best utilized as a green card owner in the present landscape. Know your travel guidelines. This is a basic one, but it surprises people off guard. As a green card owner, be conscious of how long you remain outside the United States. Prolonged absences can generate difficulties. If you need to travel for an extended duration, consult with an immigration lawyer ahead of time. Stay out of legal difficulties. This sounds apparent, but it's important to state plainly. Criminal judgments, even for violations that might appear trivial, can have significant immigration repercussions under existing law. Be conscious of this. Keep your paperwork in order. Make sure your green card is valid, that you have all the records of your authorized standing, and that you know where everything is. Consider naturalization if you're qualified. If you've maintained your green card for the necessary duration and you satisfy the qualification criteria for U.S. citizenship, genuinely consider beginning that journey. Citizenship is the most powerful available safeguard against deportation worries, and it removes the type of vulnerability that's creating most of the stress you're observing. And perhaps most crucially, establish a connection with a certified immigration lawyer, not so that you can message them in distress every time a new clip goes trending, but so that when something truly meaningful occurs, you have a reliable expert you can consult for a balanced, precise evaluation. If there's one thing I want you to carry away from this video understanding, it's this. You are not helpless and you are not without protection. The titles are constructed to make you feel otherwise because panic fuels engagement, but the law, for all its difficulty and shortcomings, still delivers substantial safeguards for green card owners. Those safeguards don't dissolve because of a post or a trending clip. Stay educated, stay composed, and stay wise about where you obtain your knowledge. That's the true defense against the chaos. If this video served you, please do me a favor and press that like button. It sincerely helps this channel connect with more people who need to receive this message. Subscribe to Future Bridge USA so you never skip a new video, and activate notifications because we address real immigration developments as they unfold without the exaggeration. Leave a comment below and share with me what's the most shocking immigration title or clip you've encountered lately. I review every comment, and your inquiry might end up becoming the topic of our next video. And if you individually have immigration inquiries, if you're navigating a green card journey, extending your standing, managing a complex circumstance, or simply want to learn about your rights better, connect. The link in the description takes you directly to qualified assistance. Until next time, this is Future Bridge USA. Take a breath. You've got this. Stay safe, stay educated, and we'll see you in the next